Hello there and welcome back to another edition of the Hot Lap Classic Remastered. Now we're taking a look at the 1999 Toyota MR-S Edition, also known of course as the MR-2 Spider in PAL regions. The MR-S, the final of the MR-2s. Of course you had the sort of the wedgie version that looks like it was designed with a protractor, then you had the soap bar, and now you've got this, the MR-S. And in my personal opinion, this is my favourite of the bunch. I really like the Mark III MR2. It comes from that sort of period in time where Toyota was designing cars that I think, even today, still look good. Like the 1999 Celicas, I think, still look great. And this is another car of that sort of lineage. You can even put a Celica front end on this if you're mental. Underneath, this car is much more akin to how the MR2 really was originally thought out to be. The AW11, AW10, that sort of vehicle, it was essentially just an economy car, but the engine was in the middle and drive went out the rear. Similar sort of thing here, you had a Corolla engine and it went out the rear wheels. In this case, it was the 1.8 litre, which isn't too dissimilar to that from the Lotus Elise, but not quite. Although eventually that engine would then refind its way into Toyotas with the likes of the Corolla compressor. Anyways, in terms of this game, be interested to see how this does. These are lighter than SW20s, but you know, the SW20 also doesn't handle that great, and being light around this track doesn't particularly lend itself to being quick, so it'll be interesting to see. The racing modification on this is not really my cup of tea. You could have this, and you can either choose to have the hood in red or black, and I've gone for the sort of red and black look because I think it does look slightly better. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this. This car does come in some great factory colours. Unfortunately, we can't showcase those. Mid-engined, rear-wheel drive, 258 horsepower, 865 kilos. Pretty lightweight, actually. Although not as light as something like an Elise, so I do think this is going to do a little bit better than the Elises. It has got that horrible, busy engine sound, though. Anyways, to find out how the MR-S Edition gets along, it is going to get 6 laps of the Motorsports Land track in order to set the best time it possibly can. Our current leader is the Suzuki Cultus Pikes Peak Edition. That car set a time of 26.540. This car unlikely to beat that. In terms of where this is wanting to go, sort of low-end Toyota MR2s hover around the very late 31 seconds into the 32s. I think the MR Spider is the slowest one with a 32.1. The 98G Limited that we had not long ago set a time of 31.801. I think that's where this really needs to be looking at, and then maybe we can think about beating some Lotus Elises and stuff. Straight away though, I can tell you this is not nice to drive at all. It has that typical mid-engine feel of there being far too little weight over the front wheels to really get it to turn in nicely, while also having be very, very twitchy on the grass, which is a horrible combination. Again, we see that a lot with the Elises and Alans, and the really lightweight stuff has a lot of problems like this, and the MR2s do as well, the G Limiteds. Obviously the MR2 GTSs are going to be quicker because they have a lot of power, so they can sort of power their way around at 31.496 though. This is quick if you can get it under control. I can actually feel when I'm going onto the grass there, I actually took, I stopped accelerating. God damn it. I stopped accelerating and it literally sort of almost shuddered to a halt with the way that slowed down. This must have some pretty hefty sort of multipliers on traction loss, maybe, I don't know. But either way, it definitely feels interesting over the bumps, but it is actually quite a quick car in its heart of hearts, which not a lot of MR2s are, so... But the 31.4 instantly means it's quicker than any Elise we've had, which is quite mental to think about, really. But it's just not particularly a great car to pilot. Which is a bit of a shame, but I sort of was expecting that. good news is, though, that 31.569 would also still be quite a respectable lap time for this. There we go. Managed to not lose it on the grass there. Hopefully we can set a good representative lap time. Have to be really careful when you get on the power. A bit like that GTS 4 last time, but perhaps more so in this. If you get on the power at the wrong time, you are just going to understeer straight off into Timbuktu. Got really lucky with the corner cut there. 30.748. God, that is far more than this car deserves, I will tell you that. I'm very happy as an MR2 Spider fan, but God, that was tricky to drive. That really was tricky to drive. It should not be that quick, to be perfectly clear. You should absolutely drive a Tommy Kyra ZZS instead of this, but, like I say, I will definitely take that. That is phenomenally quick around there. There is my clip into the wall there. To say that I only really got one representative lap time, I didn't think that was going to be that quick, to be perfectly honest, but no, really, really good from the MRS, and going to that could have been quicker. I have my doubts, but yeah, I mean, I suppose if you sort of kept going round and round and round, you maybe could get this into the 30.6s. But like I say, you should absolutely go towards Tommy Kyra, the ZZ3 and the ZZS. Handle this track so much better than this does. This is one of those weird situations where I don't really want to recommend this car to you because I don't think it's very good, to be perfectly clear. But you can't really argue with the lap time there. A 30.748 will place this thing into 269th place. Nice. Goes in between the Lancia Y and the Mugen S2000. It's almost as quick as the quickest standard Mazda Unos Roadster we've had. It is quicker than the Ford Mustang GT, quicker than the DR30 Skyline, quicker than the Tommy Kyra ZZS Coupe, which again, drive that over this, please. Quicker than Corvette Grand Sport, quicker than EG Civic. I mean, it's only slightly slower than the likes of the Nissan Silvia Qs, TRD 3000 GT, Acura Integra Type R, Nismo 270R. It's pretty mid-pack, actually, to be honest. 269 puts it what is very roughly sort of middle of the road. Middle of the road is 253, I think, currently. But, yeah. Interesting, to say the least. I wasn't expecting it to be that quick, and realistically, it probably shouldn't have been. But I'll absolutely take it. I will absolutely take that. And again, this is so much quicker than the likes of a Lotus Elise. I don't even think you should really consider an Elise, really, when you have this as an option. And in case you are curious, just to round this off, it is, just trying to find it now, it is only slightly down at the Toyota MR-2 GTS, which is the 500 horsepower turbo SW20. So, yeah, I mean, once it gets going, it's really good. It's just getting it going and getting into the rhythm of it. And I still can't really say I got into the rhythm of it by the end of that. Anyways, that's it for this episode. Thank you all very much for watching. Join me next time when hopefully I will be driving something so perplexing. Until then, farewell.